What's up, guys? This is Shot Master, aka the Great Bear Gamer, back with another franchise focus, and today we're talking big decisions in Madden NFL 17 connected franchise mode. Now, one of the things you're gonna have to do this year in Madden NFL 17 is make decisions, not only before each game, but before the season and after the season when it comes to CFM. The first big decision that you're gonna have to make is setting your goal for the season. Now, I like this because it allows players, especially in a 32-man league, to sort of set their goals low if they know they can't compete right now. And, a lot of times you're going through a rebuilding process and you just don't have the firepower. Well, now you can set your goals low and still earn XP instead of not making predefined goals and end up getting fired at the end of the year. So that's one of the perks, is setting your season goals. So it says, as a coach, you can decide whether you're going to make the playoffs or shoot low with a 7-win season. The choice you make has an impact, since if you miss your season goal, you have a chance of getting fired. But the harder your goal, then the higher an experience point gain will be. All right, the next big decision is you have with injuries. Now, every NFL game has injuries, and there's one of the things I would love to see, and this is the future, but I want to see injury reports. But you still, as a coach in Madden NFL 17, have to make a big decision on whether you want to bring a guy back early from injuries. EA has retuned the injuries so that there's some more nagging injuries than big long-term injuries. Out 35 weeks for a broken collarbone injury. Those are the things of the past. You have now retuned the injuries, and so now you have a decision on whether you want to bring somebody in from free agency to replace that guy, or you want to bring that guy up from injury because he's partially healthy. Now, there is a bigger risk when you talk about injury. If you bring him back early, he has a bigger risk of getting hurt again, but also it affects the person behind him. So let's say, I'm the Redskins and I have Mac Jones as my running back, and he's injured for, let's say, 4 weeks. But after 2 weeks, he can come back, but not fully healthy. Now, the good thing I like is they allow you to look at your schedule when you're making the decision, so you can look and say, you know what, I don't need him against the Jaguars. I don't need him against Philly. You know what, I'm going to let him stay on the bench, and I'm going to let Chris Thompson be my starting running back for the next 2 weeks until Mac Jones is fully healthy. So those are the decisions you have to make in Madden NFL 17. Let me go ahead and read to you what it says. Once the doctors have medically cleared a player that was hurt earlier in the season, you can either play him with a lingering injury or sit him to heal to 100%. If your player plays a game with a lingering injury, then he has a higher chance of becoming re-injured, which could completely wreck the rest of your season. While in-game, you'll see new presentation banners that highlight your injured player. You will even see a with and without comparison banner showing how your team did the last few weeks with your backup quarterback compared to your regular starter. So also, they're going to show you, okay, Matt Jones has been out 2 weeks, but you know what? Chris Thompson has been carrying the load. He's been doing some good things. So, you know what? We're going to let Chris Thompson carry the load for 2 more weeks. And then you might get a situation like Atlanta did last year, where they had their starting running back get hurt, and they fell in love with their backup running back, who gained a whole bunch of yards and just kept them in as a starter. So those are the big decisions you have to make. Another big decision you're going to have to make is acquisitions, free agency. Now, picking up free agents and players on the trade block is easier than ever with new acquisition menu. You'll be able to easily browse the available players by position and compare them to your current depth chart. Improve your weakest position quickly by using the position player grades that are right at your fingertips. Expect the commentators during the game to call out recently acquired players when they make big plays. Now, commentary has been redone. I love commentary in Madden NFL 17. It sounds really good. And this just adds to it. When you pick up a player from free agency, or you pick up a practice squad player and you add them to your roster, like, the commentators will take note of that, and they'll say like something, to the point of, they just picked this guy up this week and he's making a big impact already. One of the things I also like is everything is right there on the screen now. EA has done a good job of streamlining all of these processes, so you don't have to go searching for stuff. It was a pain last year to say, okay, I want to go into free agency and look at, players, but I don't know who I have. I don't know how good I have. So now I had to go back out, look at the depth chart, say, okay, I need a right guard. Go into free agency, look up right guards, and then be like, man, I forgot, what's my best right guard right now? Like, is this guy even better? Well, that's the thing of the past. EA has streamlined the process, so now you can actually look at people from other teams too. So if you have a need, you can actually go to other teams and see who they have on their trading block that you may be able to pick up or negotiate a trade for. All right, the next big decision that I want to talk about is re-signing. Now, we all talked about how re-signing, needs to be done. And let me just tell you what it says. It says when your players are on their last year of their contract, you can now re-sign them using a more intuitive menu. This is what I was talking about, more streamlining the process. All the information you need to decide if you want to retain a player is available. The more prominent players will be open to negotiations earlier in the season, with the lower rated players available to sign late in the season after they had a chance to prove themselves on the field. It's up to you to decide how aggressive you want to be when offering a contract, but giving a contract that is too low carries a risk that they may reject your team and opt out to test the free agent market instead. As you persuade your players to re-sign, the commentary team will take notice and mention it during the game. So again, commentating it's going to be so good. It's going to flow with what you do before each game, after each game. Commentators are going to talk about that. But re-signing, you can start negotiation, and like it said, there's going to be different times for different players, but you'll be able to see that. You'll see that, oh, this guy is going to start renegotiating week 3. This guy's going to start renegotiating week 4, 7, whatever. So you'll see that. You'll see, whether they're a normal trait, and that's the other thing I like so far with Madden NFL 17. You're able to tell what traits your guys are right from pretty much every screen that you go to. You'll be able to tell which trait they are. So that is re-signing. Still no mention of restructuring contracts. But at least we know how re-signing works. All right, the next thing we want to talk about is spending XP. Now, I don't really take this as a big decision, but this is what they say. Your players progress through the season as they earn XP points from training and completing weekly game goals, drive goals, fantasy goals, season goals, and career goals. You'll be able to easily spend this XP. You'll be able to spend this XP to upgrade ratings and traits at the end of each game. When playing as a coach, you will see a breakdown of all the XP earned that week. You will also see if you have an upgrade available and quickly take action. So as you can see on this screen, it gives you sort of, again, it streamlines it. You're able to upgrade +1 on the top 3 attributes for that player, and it seems very easy. I mean, you could also go to all upgrades or view their player card as well. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for that. Now, one of the biggest decisions you have in the preseason, especially when you first start the game, is cutting players. Now, during the preseason, you will now be presented with a new menu layout where your coaches will recommend players to cut based on position depth, player skills. This allows you to make key decisions about player retention so you can progress through the preseason. Now, one thing again I like about it is it is streamlined. So they give you a recommended, who you should cut. And I'm just looking at Rashard Perryman right here. There's no way I'm cutting 96 speed. So you can maybe recommend that, but I'm not cutting Rashard Perryman. I'm going to try to build him up. And as you can see, it tells you what depth chart they're on. So like Chris Matthews is a 6th wide receiver. Perryman is the 5th wide receiver. And then it tells you, your worst position grades, so who gives you better information on who to cut. The last one we want to talk about is free agent bidding. And I feel like this is one of the areas where people were very frustrated last year about free agent bidding because you really didn't know what was going on, who was ahead. So this is what it says. It says, while bidding for players in the offseason, you will now be able to easily see your depth chart at various positions so you know who to bid on. Additionally, you will get feedback on how the player views your contract so you can adjust it better for a chance of landing him. Top rated free agents will now regularly sign quickly so you can spend the larger stages battling over the next tier of players. This better emulates real life where the top free agents move quickly off the board. So that's something to definitely take note of. Those big time free agents, they're going to be going off the board quick. Now, it tells you, actually, you can see on the screen right here, it looks like it gives you points. So when you bid on a player, you get a certain amount of points. So it tells you how far you are away from that top bid, and that was something that we couldn't tell last year in Madden NFL 16. You can be bidding and you don't know what that top guy bid or how close you are to matching what that top person bid, and a lot of times you may way overbid because you don't know what that other player bid. So now you can see over there on the right, it says the Dolphins have 104 points. We're down on 4th. The Rams have 87 points. So you know how far you are. So I wish they showed you a screen where you can see the progression or see how points are calculated. But we'll get to that in another video. So guys, that's going to do it for big decisions in Madden NFL 17. Make sure you keep it locked here. We'll have some more feature focused stuff for Madden NFL 17 CFM. Stick that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Shotmaster, and I'm out. Peace.